This is the Dogon Podcast, and you are in the right place.
Yeah.
Tristan's like, well, I was going to do the
I was going to do the welcome to the Dogon Podcast.
Boom, there we are. We got it in there. And he's still got the point down. We're going to, I don't know if we're going to keep the point. I think he's keeping the point. He likes it. He likes it. And a lot of you guys might be listening. I don't know if you guys are watching this or not. If you're not watching it, you got to go to YouTube.
We've been getting a lot more Spotify listeners on, Spotify.
Yeah. I mean, because people are starting to see, man, sometimes I do weird stuff. Like it's my face and I'm like going around my mic. Like, what are you doing? But yeah, people like to watch. People like to see what's up. And I think it'll be better when we have other visitors on here. And
yeah,
people
once we have more guests, we can get more product packing, more lives, more all of that kind of stuff. We're just kind of waiting for the product so we can really get it out to you people and sell it.
I mean, that's what I can't wait for, because it's like I can give myself a raise as soon as those are in.
Right.
Because it's like I'm selling them, I'm moving them, like I just was like, oh man, you have to make sure you have everything set up for the, online sales in person, because I'm literally going to be going out. I mean, I might go to the Dallas airport. I mean, I'm going to go anywhere that there is people. Right. I'm going to sell these people until security tells me to leave. I'm not going to go to Walmart, but I have thought about putting ours on the shelf in Walmart.
Yeah, just seeing if people will pick it up.
And be like, and maybe even just put like free sample and just be like, and then Walmart would be like, don't do that.
Don't fucking do that.
But, well, hey, I got yellow water from you guys. I still got to talk to Walmart about that. Like, what is going on with your water? Why is it yellow? And it's like, oh, it could just be the bottle, but I don't feel good about it. Like I'm putting it in a clear glass with like a white paper around it and looking at it like, yeah, it looks clear. Like, but it's weird stuff. Today, I kind of just wanted to, just take a few minutes and just reiterate and go over, the path that you take as a business owner and what that means to me and why I think it's so valuable in our world. A lot of people are we kind of went through a phase here with online where everyone wanted to own their own business and everyone was starting their own drop shipping.
Yeah, I feel like that is kind of dying out, but I don't know. I know that it's been a big trend in recent times, and I don't see this as a trend that I'm approaching. I think it's more of a lifestyle move, and I wouldn't really want to live any other way than trying to achieve what I want,
Yeah, like he'd said something, when we were at like one of our lowest points, just difficulty-wise, mental, waiting on, before we had the packs and bags done, before we had that stuff coming, it was just like, I don't want to be stuck in this system on this hamster wheel. I don't want to just do what everyone else does because that's what everybody else does. Like, why can't I be the one who buys the car cash at the dealership? Why can't I be the one who goes on vacation and has a team of people to run my business? Why?
And you can if you just try.
Yes. And you can if you're willing to never give up.
Just don't give up on it.
Yeah. And understand that, like we've been doing this now, like we started this thing, a couple months into 2024.
Yeah,
and then
a while ago.
And we kind of kicked it around for a few months, just trying to come up with the product, just trying to come up with the, who our customer is, who our ideal customer is. And, and if you don't know Daniel Moran, he wrote a book, 12 Months to a Million. He just came out with like another video series that is like 8 steps to 12 months to a million. So it breaks down the steps a little bit more clearly and easily for you. And one thing that I kind of lost sight of was building the email list and driving direct traffic to our mailing list or our email list.
Right, because it is important getting all of the offers out to people through email, because I check my email every day. I try to see what's going on in there, and I don't know, it's just very important for reach and growth.
Yeah, and it's like, if you have people who are excited about your product, excited about your company, what you're doing, then they're not going to be mad if you're sending them an email. I've gotten some great responses from some of our people. They're like, oh wow, that's really cool, because I try to give you something that gives you value in that email, not just like,
it's not a bunch
buy
of
this product,
random sales garbage, but
it's still an evolution and a process. And when you don't have, it's just like when you don't have an absolute plan of like, hey, this is the way it's done, and as long as you do it this way, you're fine. It's like that there is a lot of fear in there, because, and then you realize like none of that stuff really matters. You can make a million mistakes. You can do a million things wrong. A good idea whose time has come cannot be stopped. Like, I don't think this can be stopped.
Yeah, we've already dedicated so much time into it. I don't see myself stopping. I don't see you stopping anytime soon. So
yeah, right.
I think
never.
No matter what I have to do, if I have to get fucking 2 jobs and work it out, I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. See, for me, it's like we would have killed to be where we are right now.
Right.
Like looking back at where we were when we first started, it'd been like, man, if we could just just have a recording area that looked nice, if we could just have a setup that we were able to create content marketing, if we just had a product, developed with the manufacturer. I mean, because you talk to a manufacturer, it's like you got to go to R&D, then from research and development, you got to go to the actual engineers and the manufacturers to determine how it's going to go down the assembly line and what problems are going to arise from the ingredients.
I remember going through and talking with like multiple different pill manufacturers and people that, I mean, you'd have to provide so much specific detail and
pages
so many
upon
different
pages.
I mean, it's really difficult. Well, it's not difficult. It's just a lot, And
then you do all that and they're like $40 a pill. And you're like, what are you? Like, you are 1,000% higher than everybody in the market. Like, I thought you were the best and now I know that you're the worst. and it's not, just because their price was astronomical, but then there's like all these other factors that come into play. And one thing with our green coffee bean extract, I got a call like halfway through when I thought it was like done, wash my hands. They're like, oh, boom, boom, manufacturer's all set. It's taken care of. They know how to do it. Awesome. This is our formulation. This is our pill density. This is our testing in 2,000 pill. Like, I was like, cool, it's done. And then they're like, we got a problem. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, well, the green coffee bean extract is sticky and it has like this. And when it powders up, it creates a problem on the belt for where we're putting the other. And I'm like, well, what do we do? And they're like, oh, they're figuring it out right now. And it's like, okay. And it's like, I didn't even know that was a problem. Like, what do you mean? Like, and I didn't realize how much you have to go through with these manufacturers. And I did that with 15, 20 of them that I was like, I'm not going to use you at all. Like, if they couldn't get me wild grown or if they couldn't get me, what I wanted from where I wanted it.
We didn't want it.
So it's just, man, it's been wild, but it's been exciting too to learn that whole side, to talk to, people at the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock in Brazil. That was interesting. I really enjoyed that interaction. I mean, that was like, I never thought I'd be on the phone with Brazil's agriculture and, livestock ministry, like
that sounds like an important group.
It is. Yeah. They handle they handle a lot of coffee bean extract and coffee bean exports, and some of the stuff that I'm really excited about. And one of the guys, I'm probably going to go play disc golf with him today. I know he has experience purchasing green coffee beans. And I was like, and I texted him, I was like, hey man, I'm trying to get this where I can buy a whole field down there and buy this whole lot. Whenever they have like a harvest of these green coffee beans, I get a better price. I get a higher quality. It's a more consistent product, how do I do that? And so like, hopefully he's going to give me some pointers there, but there's a lot of things that we are pushing to get done that we don't even know how to do. We just know it's possible because somebody else has done it.
Yeah. It's really, I mean, even no matter what happens, trying to build your business or trying to develop a company or grow or whatever it is, the knowledge you gain from all of that is still very valuable no matter what happens.
Yeah, definitely agree. And the fact you get this thought in your head, you get this understanding now that like, oh, if I don't know how to do something, I just have to do it long enough and then I'll figure it out.
Know what I'm doing.
Yeah. And it's usually like the right person will show up. The guy that you need on the phone will be like, oh, well, actually, you need to think about this. And what about that? And you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know about that. And he's like, well, here, go to this website, check out this organization or this testing company. And it's like the resources will show up for you. Like what you need appears if you are moving and taking action.
Yeah. You just have to be there to take it,
Yeah. But it's something that if you don't have a lot of personal confidence or personal power or somebody else that can be like, we got this and bounce it back and forth. When you're low, they're high. When they're high, you're low. If you don't have that, it's like, that's why so few businesses, that's why when there was like this big rush online of everybody starting their own business, that's why so few of those people actually made it. They're feeling like they're doing all this work and they're doing all these things. And it's like, it doesn't matter. It's not going to happen.
Right.
It's not going to work.
It's not going to work. And you get discouraged and you decide to just quit because, one thing went wrong, or you feel like, oh, I'm wasting my time. Why don't I just go get a job and do what everybody else does? Or
at least I can make a little bit of money and it won't be so difficult, but it's like, I don't know. Okay. It reminds me of that story where that gentleman was digging for gold and he put everything he had into it and dug for gold everywhere, all over this mountain. He couldn't find any. And he finally sold the property for pennies on the dollar to another guy. And the guy came in and in every single hole where he dug, he found gold within 4 feet.
Damn.
And that guy, and it was the largest gold find in the history of the United States. You can just Google it, look it up, you'll find it. Maybe we'll put that in here. but and it was like, you don't know how close you are. So don't give up. You could be 4 feet away.
What's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know how it's going to unfold today even. So
yeah, so just
keep pushing.
Keep going. Never give up. And, you know, we want to keep this one short. We just want you to know that there is struggle. There is difficulty. If you were caught up in that buzz of like, I want to start my own business online. I want to be a business owner.
You need to know exactly what it takes because it's not easy.
Yes. And all that it takes is to never give up and educate yourself.
And it's not even necessarily hard. It's mentally hard.
Yes. So educate yourself both in mental strength and in the business that you're in, and you'll make it.
Right.
As long as you don't.
Just don't quit.
There you go.
We'll see you later.
See you guys.
Among Us.